Hey y'all, welcome back to Ascending with Ashley. I'm Ashley. We're gonna do a collective reading using some different cards. Let's do these. I'm sorry I haven't been very doing these a lot. My energy has been very warped, so I haven't really wanted to bring that into readings because it's not my energy. So I've been having to kind of deal with that. So let's get started. I don't know. I don't know what it was, what it is. But got Florence and the Machine with "Shake It Off," as I was just saying, sort of. Don't let anything get you down. If you're feeling like something is, yesterday I did a reading about staying in your own energy, and I would recommend that if you feel so called. Okay. Chatty Cathy's. Okay. Alright. The song will always remind me of my house in Green Bay, right before I moved out west, just so you know. Okay? Hand in hand, I had a really cool roof. I had a cool roof access. I really liked that apartment, actually. It was an upper of a house, and the family was great. But anyway, okay. Hand in hand, alliances, solidarity, and support. I think in this time, if you are a part of the human collective, which you more than likely are if you are watching this, we are really being called to come together in whatever way that looks like for us, right? We have doctor, giving, caring, healing. We're all on our own individual healing processes or journeys, but a lot of that can be done interconnected with others, right, within community. Lectern, leadership, influence, and decision making. Maybe, one of the things I always say, or I tell the younger ones when I'm working with them too, is, don't wait for someone else. Like, you're someone. Whatever idea you have, whatever thing you want to do it. There's nothing holding you back except for, your own internal monologue, which isn't even really yours. So, people tell you that's stupid, that's crazy, that's dumb. Oh my God, you can never do that. What are you talking about? No one's ever done something like that. Why would you? In this time on the planet, we are all being called to do things differently, okay? Look around you. What's being done, the way it's been done, is not working. In fact, it's not just not working, it's actually killing the planet and all of us, okay? So, whatever idea you have, do what you need to do to make it happen. If you need some support with that, go to the What's Your Calling readings and check those out. I am also available for sessions if you'd like to work with me directly. I can kind of do some life coaching, help you out in that. I'm a big risk taker. It looks like risks, but they're calculated risks. I do my research. I find others who have also done the same thing that I'm looking to do long before I ever do what I'm going to do. So if you need support with that, I'm here to help. You can email me at ascendingwithashley@gmail.com. We have White Rose, pure, noble, and beautiful. This is very much giving Hunger Games, which is not what the White Rose meant in that movie. So maybe you're at an impasse right now where you're just like, maybe, I don't know why I'm getting rose-colored glasses. Maybe you've been seeing things in a better light than they actually are. Maybe you've been kind of settling in your own life or with someone or a partnership, a business, or something like that, geographic location. Now's the time. There's no better time than now, right? We don't know if tomorrow's promised. We don't know what's going to happen, especially in these times. That's something that we never know at any given time, but in times of war, it's especially something that we can't bank on. We can't just rely on, I'll do it one day. No, do it today. Do it today, all right? I'll actually add that to daily discipline because I don't think I have that anywhere. This is my daily discipline project. I'll add it over here. Hang on. Stop. I think I do probably have it. Maybe we've already already done it. I don't know. But I know that procrastination is the thief of joy. I don't think that's the actual saying. I think it's comparison is the thief of joy. But procrastination as well. Do it today, okay? Where were we at? Where were we? No, seriously, where were we? Okay, tree roots. Stability, growth, and roots. So yeah, bring whatever ideas you have in your head onto this plane of existence through you, you know? Again, I'm available if you need some support. I have always done things differently than the masses. So it can be kind of daunting and intimidating at first, but once you do it a few times, it becomes who you are, and then you become that lighthouse for others. Oh, speaking of lighthouse, I need to do ancestors speak and collective karma heads. Okay, my bad. Okay, party, decompress, release, and let go. Everything in moderation, okay? Just know it if you're getting into a cycle. I was just in another cycle. I always have to go cold turkey, so if you're using substances or behaviors or habits more than you should, try to first acknowledge it and then, pivot away from it. But again, all in moderation. Only you know your limits, only you know what you're doing. Just check in with yourself and be honest with yourself. You don't need to report back to anyone. I mean, maybe you do. There are certain cases in which you do, but for this reading, no, you don't. Clenched fist, toughness, strength, and perseverance. Just an acknowledgement of how much you've been through and how much you've learned through what you've been through, right? And you continue to grow, you continue to show up. You're here. Hey, what's up? Dove, calm, peace, and harmony. We did the dove yesterday in the spirit animal deck, which I should probably do today. So go check that out if you want. The dragonfly was a really big hit yesterday. It was interesting and weird. Alright, philanthropy, generosity, charity, and love. Maybe you are someone who can invest in someone else. Hi, email me. Or maybe you're someone who also needs investments. One of the things that I've really struggled with is I came from a very wealthy family, but not emotionally mature. And so one of the things that my family has always done and held over my head was any sort of financial support in any means. So it led me to this lack mentality that was never really mine to hold, because I know that my ideas flow. I have $1 million ideas, plenty of them. I just have to execute them and again, bring that and root it onto the planet through me, right? But one of the things that I really struggled with, and I think a lot of people do, is this lack mentality. And I think that's just what capitalism and consumerism promotes. It wants you to feel less than. It wants you to feel not enough. It wants you to make you feel like there will always be some sort of new thing that you need in order to make who you are worthy. And once you do the healing work, which is decolonizing, integrating your shadow, healing your inner child, right? Having a few ego deaths, balancing, finding your balance between mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. Once you find that balance, when we actually have mediate here, which kind of gives a balance vibe, you recognize that abundance and money and wealth is all an energy. And so it's like when you're in an energy of, this week I've been spending a lot. And so it's I've also been dealing with some darker energies of people around me. And so it's left me feeling exhausted. It's left me feeling, I don't know. I just haven't been in my own energy. Today I woke up and kind of lit a fire under my ass because I was like, I need to clean and organize my space to promote, my own balance. Why did I just get blue? The light is not moving at all. But anyway, so all that to say is, whichever side you're on, whether you're the money giver or the money needer, there are a lot of things to do in order to get abundance. You don't need to sell yourself. You don't need to sell your soul. There's plenty for everyone. It's just a matter of tapping into what's available and kind of maneuvering through that, right? Whether it's writing grants, applying for fellowships, other things like that. So with philanthropy coming out, maybe you're holding out because you feel like you don't have enough money. It's one step at a time. It's one step at a time. And start with what you have, okay? First, your ideas. Draw up, brainstorm about what you could create, right? Things like that. Mediate tolerance, understanding, and reconciliation. Maybe there was some sort of falling out. Conflicts happen. If you take them as a lesson and just approach it as that, you don't need to worry so much about necessarily what happened. More than likely, when there is some sort of conflict, a little bit of introspection and reflection and just acknowledgement of what happened and being honest can kind of get you through it, right? Like I had a lot of conflict this week. I'm not someone who wants conflict. I don't attract that. And it's not something that once I hit Sunday, I let that cycle go. What is today? Tuesday? I think it's Tuesday. I'm staying in my own energy. So I highly recommend you doing that too. I thought there was one that was, yep. Okay. Cosmic energy, we have joy and grace. Joy is the dance of the soul. Enjoy every moment. When you're not enjoying it, recognize that too, right? Be like, ugh, why am I so bummed? Introspection can be like the be all save. I don't like that word. It has a weird connotation. Introspection is who you are, and when you're honest about how you're feeling and reflecting on things that you're going through or people around you or things like that, when you're asking yourself those questions, you're gonna find your balance. Balance is really important in life, okay? Grace is the universe's blessing. Open your heart to receiving it. I think now I went back outside, so I'm gonna have to cut this a little short. Let's do 3 more of these and then get a couple magic cards. Hopefully we'll be done around 18-20 minutes, so keep. Anything else? We need 3 more of these energies, por favor. Friendship. Cherish friendships. They are the harbors for your soul. Nurture others and also yourself. Maybe you're navigating through some relationships. I'm being very aware of codependent cycles, and so I'm kind of pulling back in my own energy right now. So, friendships are cool, but also just recognize if you're feeling yourself getting into those cycles. And we already talked about that with the party energy. One of the things that I also cycle through is relationships or codependence outside of myself, and that's something as I've become a mother, like the past few years have been incredibly careful and cautious of not getting into any sort of codependent relationships. My mother and I had a very codependent relationship. I cut her off about a year ago, a little more than a year ago. And since then it has given me the space to bloom into my own life, right? So if you're feeling like someone in your life is kind of making you feel like this, like you need to protect your heart and like cave in, first of all, practice opening up your heart. And second, notice and take that introspection when you are around them, how they make you feel, the things they say. Notice the red flags, because a lot of the times in codependent cycles we don't. That is a parallelogram. It's a great word. And I was playing this Fox Factory Pango game. Bravery. Face the unknown with your bravery. Trust the steps. It takes a lot of bravery. I thought he was outside. I guess he's not. Maybe he's doing something now. It takes a lot of bravery to be honest with yourself. And again, you don't need to do like a podium fucking speech. You just, I think getting a notebook and kind of acknowledging where you're at in your introspection process and your healing process is a great idea. But I know that that doesn't work for everyone. So, whatever ways you want to do your inner work, it's up to you, Nobody has control over that except you. Jinn, wildness, enigma, service, and choices. The number 19, which boils down to a 10 in numerology. Weedest teenage dirtbag. What did the teenage self in you need and want when you were that age? When I was a teenager, I lost my father, and from there on out, my life turned into like the Cinderella story with my mother and my sister. And I finally liberated myself from that. So it took over 20 years. But what do you need to do, right? Maybe you are super original, and maybe the people around you know that, and they try to dim you. Don't let them do that. And once you become aware of that, again, noticing those red flags that we talked about with this, I don't remember where we talked about that. But once you notice that, cut it out. It's a Full House reference. Okay, herbal craft, regeneration, plant medicine, caretaker, and bloomer. I have grown a lot in my ability to identify plants. My gardens always fucking suck. I'm not a big gardener, but it's because of the dogs. I have a really tiny garden space that doesn't get a lot of sun. But I'm starting to recognize plants as they come through the soil, which is something new to me. A few years ago, when we first got the RV and I was living on that like crazy commune, and they were like big garden farmer people, and they asked me to water the plants, and I'm like, I don't know how much water to give plants. And so now, at this point in my life, that was about 4.5 years ago, I've made a lot of strides. I still don't have like a master garden, but I do recognize the plants and stuff. I'm working more with herbs and other stuff, so maybe that's something for you. Maybe that's, I don't know, I felt called to share. We have ancient amulets, fortune, protection, skills, possessions. Maybe alongside herbs, maybe this is all about you wanting to do things that the people around you are considering stigma or taboo or evil. I've seen a lot of conversation on TikTok the past few days about people talking about like, oh, you think my spirituality is me worshiping the devil and shit. So there's a little bit of decolonizing that can happen there within your own process. I remember when I recognized that I was really magical, it was back in 2018. I had nothing else to grasp onto except my spirituality, except my own power within, and it really catapulted me into who I am today. But it's been a very long process. Like I said, I just started working with herbs. Technically I've always worked with a couple herbs like cannabis since I was very young, but at this point in my life I'm starting to work more with herbs, do more tinctures and stuff. And so it's just, remember that the systems in place don't want us to do anything outside of what they deem appropriate. Did you just fall? Are you okay? Okay, I gotta let you go. Last one, Baraka, power, strength, force, expansion. It's also getting really hot in here. I gotta take off my pants. I'm wearing a dress with pants because we went out in the world. Leggings. I need to take those off. So stepping into your power. Again, I'm available if you need anything. But I've put plenty of free stuff here if you do schedule with me. I do work on a sliding scale and even bartering sort of situation. Yeah, there's plenty of things here on my channel that you can use to guide you in this process. But ultimately, the universe needs us all to be doing things differently. So whatever is stopping you from being able to do things differently, stepping into your full potential, stepping into your passion. I'm a little crass, but fuck that. Okay? If you're on my channel, you already know that. Alright? Have a good one.